into dice.
Dice, and they're metal. They're like really cool metal dice. Yeah.
Really cool.
So what's his credit card number? And the CVV code on the back too.
Let me
We
tell
had
you.
his parents' maiden name, right? So
We finally sold Mom's house, right?
Yeah.
And the money was supposed to get deposited into my account. So I brought them the check. We went through the rigmarole. They had to hold it for like 7 days. At the end of 7 days, it still didn't go into my account. I'm like, what the hell? So I gave them a call. And they're like, well, it looks like it never went into your account. And I'm like,
What?
whose account did it go in? Because that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they couldn't find it for a little while. Eventually they came back and they're like, well, there's another Christian Peacock. I'm like, oh my God,
What?
did you put it in Vinny's account? They put it in Vinny's account.
That's hilarious. So
I'm like,
Vinny went on a spending spree.
yeah,
and-
right?
That's
Guess who
awesome.
got a laser rifle?
A laser
Yes.
rifle.
Guess who got the entire proceeds of a house sale?
You right?
Who got a scorpion?
A scorpion? Oh, on Halo?
They're big giant mechs.
Cool.
Just saying.
Just saying.
So
Just
he's
saying.
been playing
Just saying.
to the point, I guess they do like matches online against other real people, but you have to win like 10 matches in a row to go into a match where you can earn stuff online, like unlock new weapons and gear and stuff like that.
Okay.
And Vinny was looking at Ronan's character because he just lets him run on his, his account. And he's like, Ronan has accumulated like 80 or 90 gold ranks. And he's like, I don't even know how that's possible. That means he would have had to have won 10 matches before he even went into something where he could win one of those.
Wow.
And he had like accumulated tons of gold and stuff that you can normally only buy with real money that he earned with like in-game credits.
Dang.
Wow.
Maybe my son plays too much Halo.
Start putting that boy in tournaments.
Right?
Yeah.
But
The 1996 Nintendo Power Tournament with the Power Gloves. That could be Ronan. That could be Ronan up on stage.
Oh, and David, we have gotten rolling with Unity, and he has made his own person. He finally made like a 3-dimensional armature that he's attached the bones and everything to, and he can make it move.
Crap, I don't even know how to do that.
He made a lightsaber for him so that the character can hold a lightsaber.
Wow. That's
He doesn't
impressive.
have the coding programs to be able to put it in the game yet, but he's gotten everything up to that point. For some reason, my computer won't run it. I don't know why. We downloaded the program; it just will not run. I think it's is it C Sharp? What was the program that we couldn't get to run on my computer?
The Visual Coding Studio, it runs C Sharp.
Visual Coding Studio. It runs C Sharp.
Or Unity runs C Sharp. The Visual Studio Code thing can run anything.
Okay.
Huh.
But anyway, we had major problems running it on a Mac. So
because Dad likes Mac for some reason.
I do like Macs.
Why?
But C Sharp should still work on a Mac, I think. Maybe you have to have some special kind of compiler or something.
It works, it's just really glitchy. And have issues.
Like every tutorial that I followed as well did not have a Mac, so all the buttons were different.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. That's
it's a little difficult.
That's challenging, yeah. Like using Photoshop or 3D Studio Max or any of those, when you go back and forth between Windows and Macs, the key commands are all different, or you have to remember that, alternate is the same, but command is not anything really. And
yeah.
It's
complicated. Oh. Well, that's good. No, that's more than I ever did.
Still got a rainbow.
I do. I have my
lizard gun.
So, D&D, right?
Yeah, D&D.
Yeah. All right. So last time, you guys are still on the island of Liberty, but you have taken a little bit of a sidetrack You went into the Centaur Forest and into the Sunken City, where you were met with a couple of assassins that were trying to keep you out. And eventually you guys made your way into the inner sanctum of the Black Market Society, where you met Edmund and Lilith. Lilith, the mysterious LB that was on the airship plans that were rolled out in front of you at the inquiry. She is the designer of these schematics and some other items as well. One which Safkeen got to use very intimately and had some odd effects as a result. And then she went on to explain a little bit about herself and what she does. And you all decided to take her with you because Edmund wasn't really having her for various reasons. But Edmund does still want you guys' services for a heist that he's got planned to get somebody that he wants out of Panopticon. And he said he'd come calling for you if you guys took too long. Or rather, he would make you guys reevaluate what you prioritize, whatever that means. So you left Edmund, all turning into giant birds of various kinds, which he generously provided to you guys for 13 and a half minutes. And you guys jumped onto 3 giant eagles and swooped out of the sunken city, flying out the secret entrance to this little pirate's cove that they had squirreled away in between 2 rocky peaks, and flew up over the 300-foot tall plateau over the forest and back over the fields towards the meadery, and slipped back inside, disguising Lilith as an old woman, as Xavier took her up and let her into the room so that she could hide out there, while the rest of you guys hop into the cart that Rajwin has been waiting now for a little while. You were supposed to leave at dawn, and about 3 hours later, under the guise of having a full night of drinking and being somewhat hungover in the morning, he's now waiting for Xavier to catch up, as the rest of you guys were in the back of the wagon, waiting to take off. So, Xavier, do you have any questions before we start?
I do, actually. I think I'm just a little tiny bit lost on what happened. I didn't have time to read everything. So,
Sure.
who were the assassins who were trying to kill us? Were they part of Edmund's group? Okay.
Yeah. They're like his minions, kind of. They do his work, and they try to keep people out of their business, basically.
Huh. Okay. So
The match for a trickery cleric, though.
did we actually
Can't one of
kill
them?
What's that, Brian?
One of them too is the sibling of one of the crewmates from Othmal's ship, the ship that I came in on. One of the assassins.
one of his assassins? Okay.
Yeah, the Tabaxi sticks.
Yeah, he's got a really sticky personality.
As long as he doesn't get stuck in the mud.
Was he like he told? So Edmund wants us to rescue someone from the Panopticon.
Well, he knows that Othmal
Is
is
he
potentially
strong?
there, and
Okay.
he knows that you guys want to bust out Othmal, and he's saying, "Well, if you scratch my back, I can scratch yours. I can help get you there." Since you guys have no idea how to get there, if you were willing to bring back this person for him as well.
How did Lilith fit into all this? Why was she there? And why are we here with us?
She is kind of. I'm not sure exactly how much you guys asked her about her connection to all this. Maybe from you guys' perspective, you could give a little bit of background.
Yeah.
I think we feel, well, Safkeen, analyzing the situation, feels that it seems like we don't know how exactly she knows, but in some kind of trouble, or she has a bounty on her head. So Safkeen assumes that she probably just went to hide with Edmund for like few reasons.
Well,
Why is she on the island? None of us know because we didn't ask her that.
Oh my gosh! How does she?
She has a lot of.
I'll tell you what, Xavier, you are walking up right now to the meadery to get her into the room. You guys are in the room. You can ask her anything you want.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to her.
Okay, yeah, she just kind of sits down on one of the beds and kind of looks out the window and looks back. Yeah. Can I help you?
Oh crap! I'm totally losing the names. Hang on, give me a second.
This is Lilith.
So that's helpful, probably.
Does this God? What's the connection?
Can you guys
between
hear me again?
You're back.
Hey, I'm back. Okay, sorry. We accidentally unplugged the internet. Let me get video back and pop out.
What was that question, Kit? You were wondering what's the connection?
Oh, I was gonna ask Lilith, what is the connection between you and the Colchesters, and do you know anything about the creature Lithobolia and/or what may be going on in the Feywild with the corruption that seems to be spreading there?
I don't know anything about that last part, but the beginning, yes, Kat and myself worked together on a project to create the Dwarven Lift. Both of us were students at the Izzet Guild, working for the Liberty Mining Company, creating new technology to help them in their mining efforts. And They were also funding our research, and part of that research took her to a professor at the university, and they worked together to try and harness some kind of power from other planes, and that's when I decided not to get involved and separated myself. And the Teachians were after my work at that point, so that's when I fled to Forgefall.
Wait. So they were just trying to harness power from a different plane of existence and maybe accidentally ripped a hole in the fabric of reality and pulled a demon through?
That's quite disturbing, but I guess it tracks.
Huh, that is disturbing.
Kat was always talented at coming up with very powerful sources to power our inventions. But ethically, I got a little bit disturbed by some of their activity and decided to separate myself.
Possibly a wise decision, but tools are only tools. It depends on how you use them.
Very true indeed. Which is why I like to keep my work very close to my chest.
It's what's all over our body.
Speaking of that,
quite literally.
Can you talk to me more about this edification process and type of magic? I dabble in artificing and enchanting, and love the
It's along the same lines. Yes, enchanting is very difficult work, very timely, as well as edification. Edification is more of a... I call it a school of magic. I like to call it a school of magic, but it's not recognized as one formally. There are not too many practitioners of my craft. Kat was one, I was another. Our master was is Magnus Gaius Gildsprocket of the Izzet Guild, and I believe he learned the craft from someone.
Why do I know that name?
You didn't tell us that, so good job, Xavier. Or whether you didn't tell Lindell that. Maybe
and I believe his master was someone known as Liamor, a very powerful edification practitioner.
Why do I know that name?
Do you think that fits into the weird inscription that's on that desk? I don't have my notebook, so I can't go back and check.
And Safkeen isn't there anyway, so...
I know. This is Jennifer talking. This is not Safkeen talking. This is not Safkeen talking. This is just...
And Xavier, Lilith did say a lot of this stuff as you guys were sitting around in the Black Market Society place in this cavern, sitting around a table eating and drinking. She did tell you guys a lot of this stuff already.
So he's gonna just try to get into the nitty-gritty of how edification works and where to start. He's gonna start. He like pulls out his notebook and
she starts telling you a little bit more about it, but she kind of looks out the window and is like, "Aren't you supposed to be catching up with your friends?"
It's like the rest of us on the cart, like.
Meanwhile, Rajman is looking behind him, still smoking his large pipe, blowing different animals out of his mouth, and looks back. "Are you sure your friend is coming? We've been here for nearly 20 minutes.
No one's here. Probably chit-chatting to her about like artifice and things.
Oh, that mumbo jumbo about making things. Yes, people need to go back to their roots. Literally, growing plants."
Why couldn't I have gone up with her? Is all I'm asking.
We'd be later.
Wait, what? What's going on?
She's not going with us on the cart, right? She's staying here.
Yeah, yes. Lilith is hiding out. She's disguised right now. She looks like an old woman.
Well, I will be back and we can discuss more. I should probably catch up with my friends. He's going to put his book away.
Yes, I'm always interested to discuss my craft with others. Others I can trust, that is. I assume you will keep this information to yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
I am sort of being hunted right now, so it's probably a good idea.
Well, our group is very good at destroying threats to our existence, so stick with us, and we'll eliminate your threats for you. Goodbye. He's gonna
Very
go
well.
catch up with the rest of the group.
Bye. All right, yeah, you catch up with the rest of the group and hop in the back. Rajman's like, "Oh, finally! All right, old boy, let's go!" And he cracks the whip, and you guys kind of jerk forward, and the wheels start to creak on the old wagon as you start to move towards the castle down the hill from the meadery. So you guys have a little bit of time if you would like to discuss anything on the way. It takes about maybe 20 to 30 minutes to get to the castle.
How long to
Izzy
get?
here.
Yes.
I have a question for you, actually. Safkeen and you and I were just talking about our families, and I was just curious about your family. Actually, we don't know much about you or your heritage or anything like that, but you have a mother, right?
I believe I do. I don't know much about my heritage either. I think that my father may have been the Gulthius tree. He was an evil tree, and we possibly destroyed him. My mother is the Witch of Sub 2, and it is entirely possible I may be a reincarnation of a human man. But it's just a theory at this point. We need to go visit Mother.
Have you ever met your mother? Like, do you know what she looks like, or what? How does she act, or anything?
Yes, she raised me, and
what does she look like?
Is she also a tree, or is she human?
No, she is mostly human, I think.
Mostly human. What's the other part? Tree?
No tree in her. I believe
So what's the other part?
Does she have pointy ears like Safkeen, or like small little fingers like me, or does she have like long arms like Jen? Or
she's very ancient and wrinkly, but quite
Actually,
powerful.
Kit, I think we have a description that the two of us came up with for Mother. This was not too long ago that we talked about what Mother looked like.
Did we?
I would not like
Let me go back.
That would blow my mind.
Carry on. I'll see if I can find it.
does she have like a wart on the nose right here? That's a really important question. A big wart? Yes or no?
No, but
Okay.
I mean, you humans all kind of look alike to me. Elves are a little easier to tell apart.
Actually, I am not a human. I just want to put that out there. I am a halfling.
That's true.
Oh, I thought you were a very small human.
That's what I
She
thought.
she stands next to you, and she like goes like this, and then like that, and then like this, and then like that, and then like I am, and look, my ears are a slightly different shape, and plus I'm much cuter.
Yes, I see it now that you've pointed it out.
Insight check on here. Did he really see it?
Yeah, go ahead, roll.
Can he really tell Raise apart?
I got a 13 on insight.
13. So I guess
Good to know.
it would be what?
Again-
Deception if it's a lie, or
Against my deception,
Well,
so
it depends if he's telling the truth or not.
right. It depends on if you're telling the truth or not. So if you're telling the truth and you do an insight check on somebody, you just have to roll high enough for the DC. But for what? It wouldn't be deception then.
I've done persuasion in the past, and like just
For-
tell the player like,
forthrightness?
don't tell me which exactly. Tell the player like, don't tell me which skill you're using. Just tell me the result.
Okay, yeah, that could work.
You rolled higher than Xavier did.
Okay, so go ahead and
He does not
So
seem
we're-
to be able to tell.
Jen's just gonna lean back and chuckle.
He seems to have a vague recollection when it comes to like the difference between humans and elves and things like that. But unless you're blue, he doesn't have a real good understanding that you're a different race.
You're great with like little samples of stuff, though. It's good. You got your.
You'd be able to tell, that other part, but not their faces.
It's amazing how observant he is at times, and yet how oblivious he can be when it comes to the larger picture.
Things that matter to Xavier, he is observant about, but things that don't really matter to him, he's like,
Mm-hmm. Scientist.
His sample
more he's more concerned with the substance of character than he is your.
Aww. I was thinking it was more like a scientific thing. Like, okay, you have 2 eyes, she has 2 eyes, and she has 2 eyes, and you both have eyebrows, and you both have ears, and you both have 1 nose. Like, just like if you look at it from like a scientific breakdown kind of standpoint, like they're basically the same.
He was raised by his mother in the underground and rarely saw people for probably. He doesn't even know how many years. He's not really sure how old he is.
Yeah, Xavier's concept
Right.
of time is very strange.
Non-existent.
Okay, I found it. I'm going to.
Oh.
It's in. It's in Apple Messages.
Apple Message?
Yeah, on iMessage. I'm just gonna resend you the picture that I found.
Okay.
On Messenger. I don't know what device that comes to for you. It's not the Facebook Messenger. It's the other one.
The other messenger. Oh, there's my.
So you can use this as a point of reference. There was one other image that was kind of good too. That I can kind of. And you can embellish on that however you like.
Waiting.
Oh!
You remember we kind of talked about these two? That was kind of what we were going for. Okay.
Okay, cool. Then Xavier will say, yeah, that's completely wrong from what I was thinking. I'm remembering this conversation now. For a possible human, and or she may have elven somewhere within her bloodline. She has dark skin. She looks very, very young, despite what I assume to be a lot of.
Not ancient and wrinkly at all?
She's not wrinkly at all.
Okay.
Maybe you're remembering her donning the appearance of an old woman for certain clients.
She tends to appear how people maybe expect her to appear as a witch, but in her natural form, she looks, I would say, a bit like Genevieve. But with much, much darker skin and tattoos that adorn her face.
Hey, Genevieve, you've never had any children, have you?
No, not that I
She also tends to kind of perpetually smell of herbs and earthy aromas due to a lot of the potions and objects she carries with her. She draws her power, I think, I'm not entirely certain, but I think it is the same otherworldly entity that I draw my powers from.
Interesting.
She helped me to learn how to harness my gifts.
Is she a well-known figure on the island, though? People are aware that there's a witch in the lower levels. They go to her?
So Auburnell was aware of her, and apparently several nobles have come to visit her for advice.
I've never heard of her.
We only knew about her because someone told us about her. That's
we
the
already
only
knew
reason.
about her because Xavier told us about her. And then when we were in the Colchester estate, we found this card that you said she might have sent, and then
We were told to look for the Witcher sub too when we got onto Liberty. That's how we know about her. But
Which was like what, 3 weeks ago?
yeah,
like
three weeks
maybe?
equals 2 years ago.
If Mother thinks that you should come visit her, she will find a way to make you come visit her.
Oh, well then we should just wait for her to get us to bring her to get her to bring us to her. Does that make sense?
Xavier,
No.
it's kind of weird.
Too many questions.
What you've experienced with your time with Mother, it's almost like her sessions, I guess, divination, whatever she's doing, fortune telling, her sessions with her clients or customers or whoever, it's not really an option. But whenever you've left Sub 2 and you've started talking to other people who know about Mother, or the Witch of Sub 2 as they call her, they see it as, oh, I'm going to have my fortune told or my future read or whatever. But Mother sees it completely differently, and it's weird because people talk about it completely differently than you saw it before. You've always seen it as they didn't have a choice.
I believe that Mother may be very good at, how do you say, manipulating fates and fortunes. I believe she can pull at the threads of fate.
Do you think she changes it, though, or is just aware of what's happening?
Maybe a little of both.
That's some power.
She is quite powerful, far beyond me in skill.
But she's also older than me, so
probably.
I'm sure you can.
Yeah, I would
With
say
enough water and sunlight, you might be able to grow up as big as Strong and her.
I would say, Xavier, you don't know how old she is, but you know she's very old.
Okay.
Or has seen some shit.
She's seen some shit.
Yeah. So you don't know if it's her experience or what she's seen that has given her her gravitas, her age.
Okay.
And Mother didn't make any more other tree folk people like you?
Not that I know of, and I still have yet to ask her if she had any hand in the creation of the Gulthius tree, or if I'm actually a part of it. I just know that when we were close to the Gulthius tree, I felt an odd sort of connection to it.
I think it'd be safe to say, Xavier, that you have purpose, though. If she's in tune with fates and the strings that bind us, you're here for a reason.
I believe that too. I believe I'm here to try to help people, to try to help those who might not be able to help themselves otherwise.
Xavier, I'd say at this point you're kind of struggling with this overwhelming sense of what do I do? Because everything has been so fate-related, sealed, you know? Because Mother knows what's going to happen, kind of, so you just go with it. Even then, when you're hearing all of this stuff, you would hear in your head that, you know, free will doesn't exist. It's going to happen. You know, I just go with the flow. So meeting these people that very much are against that, like I control my own fate, is a very different concept. And you're
and even from the
kind
beginning,
of getting used to it.
Xavier was big on trying to harness his own fate, almost like Mother does. because she seems to kind of have her own fate in her hands, even though others do not.
Right.
So again, that's one of the big reasons he took Frankie, and why he's kind of on a quest to give Frankie free will as much as he can, so that he can eliminate the need for the Master's amulet. He doesn't want any being, no matter what it is, to be enslaved. And so that's kind of part of how he sees.
What's that, Safkeen?
No, that's not Safkin, that's Jennifer. You know how in Game of Thrones is like on a mission to like get rid of all slaves, and like any slaves she comes across, she like brings into her retinue and like a party. Like that would save you.
Yeah, you're the Daenerys Targaryen of Spiralia.
Bring them on side.
Well,
I mean, and as far as you know, there aren't any dragons, so maybe you'll bring the dragons back too.
Ooh.
Are there dragonborn?
Yeah, there's dragonkin, but none of you have heard about any actual dragons.
While we're still on our little the Hoppsmiller Castle, Seth will glance over at Jen and be like, "What about you? I don't really think we know very much about you besides Hothmol and your ship. Where are you? You were born on Dominion, right?"
Well, I mean, Othmal is my family now, so that's kind of...
Okay, but who was the family before Hothmol?
Well, I mean, it's about as much as I know about your family, too. I mean, where do you come from, Safkeen? What's your story? Your royalty? Could you tell me more?
You're deflecting everything. You must have been born, right?
Jen's gonna respond by trying to
silence.
Hold on, give me a second. I need a moment.
You're just gonna sing a song at me.
Yeah, actually, that's a good question, Jen. Safkeen, you have a sister and a mother, and
we're not talking about me. We're talking about Jen right now.
I imagine Jen just getting frustrated, pulling out one of her bells and just ringing it as hard as possible in Safkeen's ear.
Like,
She does it gently instead and starts humming. It's very odd. She starts going.
Okay, Xavier's going to reach up and touch her on the shoulder and say, "Our past don't matter as much as what we do now in the present. If you don't want to tell us your past, you don't have to."
I think things come with time, and you're still all very new to me. You just stopped me from charming my friends. Thanks, Xavier.
She would sort of pop her cheeks out and be like, "Okay."
Yu turns around from the front seat with Rajuan and looks back at Jen and says, "I would have countered it anyway. We need to be conserving our spells. We've got something coming up here. In case you guys didn't know."
Yeah, speaking of which, I just want to give everyone a heads up from the healer that I am running low.
Yeah, everybody's running low, so let's not be casting spells on each other.
Just letting you guys know, I have like 2, maybe 3 spells I can cast for the rest of the day, and that is it. And
Jen, I like you, but you're new to the group, and don't touch Safkeen.
So I can like,
I'm fairly new to the group as well, but I think if we're going into this, we all need to be able to trust each other despite the pasts we all have.
We're gonna watch a movie.
You're going to watch a movie? Cool. All right. I love you.
Can you come with?
No, I'm going to play D&D.
You get the sense that Yu is a little bit protective of Safkeen.
Well, maybe when we get to the castle, we can play some trust exercises.
what's a trust exercise?
It's a thing that we used to do as kids. So basically what happens is you stand behind someone and you hold out your arms, and the person is in front of you, and they have to cross their arms, and they have to close their eyes and they have to try, and then they fall back and you catch them, and then it proves that they can trust you because you caught
That's
them when
dumb.
they fell.
You just need to help people when they're in trouble.
Yeah, well, I thought it was fun.
Oh, well, if you ever fall, Lindell, I will. I don't know if I want to do
Why
that.
would you catch them? You just cast feather fall on them.
I can't cast
I mean-
Featherfall. And
All
I
of us,
catch people.
all of us are still, in fact, alive. If we couldn't trust one another, at least a few of us would not be here now.
It's true. Even in a short time, I feel like I trust you, but trust is different from sharing sometimes. I think it's just important to keep that.
That's true, but we should focus on what we're doing now, which is invading a castle that's quite possibly filled with undead. That's just my
And werewolves.
To be
Don't forget about
fair,
werewolves. I told
and
you
to
guys
be
about
fair-
werewolves, right?
to
The
be fair,
werewolves,
none of
the
us
big,
really
like,
know
our
much about
werewolves.
any of each other.
It's true.
So maybe that's why we stuck together so well. So we can keep it that way until we're ready to open up. I'm with Xavier.
If you like, I can start telling you guys all about my life. I remember
I'd love
one
to hear it.
time many years ago that there was.
You turns to Rajwan and says, "How much longer?"
And there was
Oh,
this
it'll be about maybe
big
10
statue.
more minutes, just up the next
You
ridge.
guys want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
No. No. No.
It's going to echo out of his woody body. I'm really curious now.
You takes out her ear pods and puts them in.
One time in Sub 1, we were trying to get a copper.
Safkeen will lean over briefly
Yep.
to Lindell and just sort of gently sort of touch her knee, very briefly, mid-flow that Lindell's like telling about her life story, and just very softly just be like, and sort of give her the sort of strange sort of half smile and just mumble, "You do remind me a lot of my sister." And then just and then she'll look at Jen and sort of,
Lord drop.
and then she'll sort of look at Jen and show her the little beaded bracelet thing that Jen bought and be like, "I'm sorry if I don't mean to push."
It's okay. She's got her. She's like, I've got your back. Don't worry.
Oh.
All right, so you guys, it's pretty cold, breezy on these upper peaks as you begin to go up the rolling hills to the crest of the tallest hill, rounding the back side of it and heading up towards the castle. This big, dark, looming structure of the Hoppsmiller Castle compound. So you take the bridge in back towards the rear gate, and slowly you pull up to this massive, like 60-foot wall, looking up at it, just towering over you. And the large gate, it looks like there is a small gatehouse, and the gate is currently closed. The large wooden doors are shut, but you can see it's slightly cracked a little bit. And Rajwan pulls up alongside it, and whoa, it's the horses, and hops down. I'll just wait here. I'll go and find my friend. Sit tight. Okay, and he wanders off towards the open gate and disappears inside. And about a minute goes by.
We better be ready to grease some palms, if you know what I mean. So perhaps everyone have like a handful of gold ready, just so we can like, hey,
Xavier
maybe
was
can
pulling
we
out
go
a
into
small
this room?
thing of grease at that point, and he starts to put it back.
You're doing what?
Xavier pulled out a small container of grease, to which he started to put back once he realized what Lindell was talking about.
Okay, all right. Let's see.
And
here.
perhaps maybe Jen, with all of her awesome skills and flowery language, can do some of the talking of like, oh yes, I'm just a helpless elf maiden. Perhaps you can let us see the castle, or something like that.
I mean, they don't really sound like that, but I'd be happy to grease the wheels.
I'm not good at the voices and things, you know.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Let's see here.
Ready
I'm
to
trying to remember the name of Rajuan's friend. Trying to find where I have all that written down.
My notebook with me, so
Let's see. Do I have it anywhere?
notebook one. It's literally just poof, disappeared somewhere. Very annoying.
It might be in my notes down here.
Where?
Oh, I think it's in my other set of notes.
Oh, Barnabas. All right. Yeah. So a minute later, Rajuan comes back out with this big hulking male. He's got like a really nasty kind of overcomb, where it's like you can tell he's only got a few strands of hair, but he still tries to comb it over the baldness.
Oh no!
Very large. Wears these big, thick boots. He's got large gloves on as well. And he's actually
handle the image. I hate the image of people that have tiny comb.
He's got like a 5 o'clock shadow, not like a beard or anything, but pretty smooth otherwise, but big and burly. As Rajuan talks to him, he just kind of nods and grunts. He is pulling the reins of a horse as he exits and swings the gate a little bit wider. He looks out, just kind of grunts. All right, they can come in, but only for a little while. And he takes the horse by the reins and takes him out into a little patch where there's still some scraggly grass growing to feed him. And the gate is open to you. Rajuan kind of hobbles back, still smoking his pipe, and says, well, I believe I've done my favor. Have at it. What
Thank you.
did you want to see?
Let's go peek.
Yeah, go ahead. Have a peek. Don't venture too far inside. The gods might find you.
Is this where you needs to get her spell up and running? Was she gonna try to use a location spell?
Mom said hang this up and you'll have a Bloody Mary.
Okay. Can you
she had already done it the previous night.
Yeah, Lindell's already tried a location spell and that didn't work. So we'll have to do it a bit more manually. If it is in the castle at all, we're gonna have to do a bit more manually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were no pings for the hookah or a hookah-shaped object anywhere near the castle.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what was the plan from here? It's been so long.
What? I can't remember.
Xavier,
see, this is why we need to plan it before we go in.
Xavier, we're here as tourists, remember? We're here to look around the Hoppsmiller Castle, right? We're here as tourists and we're looking around, right?
Is there something wrong with your eye?
Yeah, I got a bit of dust in it. Yeah, thank you. I think.
Okay, we're gonna wash it out with wine. Come on, Xavier.
Okay.
Rajuan starts undoing the reins on the horses to let them free a little bit to eat and drink. So while the two of them are busy outside the castle walls, who's going first?
Oh, Barnabas is just letting us go free reign.
Yeah, free reign.
Good question. How tall is Rajuan?
Oh gosh, maybe 5'6".
Okay, just checking. Thanks.
What do we see other people around inside here, or like at the gates? What do most people look that we're seeing?
You did not. Would you like to do a perception check to see if there's anybody else around?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and roll perception.
Perception.
Ooh, nat 20.
I would also like to pull
Nice.
up the hood of my cloak at the same time.
Okay, yep, you pull up your hood. Xavier does a look around, Nice. Good rolls, guys. You look around. You do not see anyone up on the 60-foot wall as you approach. And looking side to side, you know that it's kind of like a hexagonal shaped compound. And you don't see anyone in the near vicinity. It's just very cold and windy. You see the 3 horses and the wagon and Rajvan and Barnabas that are tending to them as they graze in the field. There are some birds flying overhead. Every once in a while, you hear a little squawk from a crow, but no people. Would you like to press in?
Yep.
Yes.
Let's go on.
David.
Yeah.
David. In Vinny's game, this dude right here killed a suit of armor.
I did.
You killed a suit of armor?
It was animated.
What did you do with it?
We just left it there.
You just left it there. You should have put it on, and then maybe it would like try to move you. Ah!
Vinny is running us in a Halloween-themed haunted house D&D.
Awesome. That's so fun.
We
That's so
found
fun.
children's corpses.
We did
Children's corpses. Oh no!
No, the ghost came up from them, and they said they found a monster in the house.
Oh, I think maybe we've heard this one before.
I was like, this sounds very familiar.
Very, very familiar. Maybe a little Curse of Strahd.
One of the kids were named Thorn. One of the kids were named Thorn.
Yeah, Thorn. That's and then the girl's name is Rose, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I know this one. Oh, it's good. I've done it. I've done it before. It's really good.
Very good show.
I'm sure Vinny's going to embellish on it a little bit, though.
I'm sad the janitor dies. And her
the
baby,
caretaker, yeah.
Her baby.
Oh, yeah. That's sad. But it happens, I guess, in Strahd.
Yeah. The minute I realized what he was playing, I'm like, oh god, no.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's dark, but it's good.
And I happen to be running a paladin of death. So
Of death. Oh, that's gonna be. What level are you guys going in?
I think we're all 5th level.
Oh yeah, you're fine. I sent them all in at 3.
Oh, wow.
You guys almost died like 4 times.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys press in. Xavier, you heading, and then Lindell close behind.
Yep.
All right. Can put you in the middle unless you guys want to go first.
Safkeen will probably go in the middle.
Middle. In the middle of the spellcasters.
Xavier, the entire time, bring up his Eldritch Sight.
Yeah, you bring up your Eldritch Sight. Yeah, that might change some things. Let's see.
Woo!
Javier.
Bardem.
Let's see here. Features and traits. Eldritch Sight is detect magic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I wish they would just call it the same thing. It's confusing. My Eldritch Sight. Well, it's just
The Eldritch
magic.
Sight sounds cooler.
I guess. Then just change the spell. All right. Concentration up to 10 minutes for the durations. You sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you use your action to see a faint aura around it. Okay. No, you don't see anything.
And
Okay.
he can
Not
cast
yet.
it at will, so you can have it going like literally the entire time we're here, right?
I'm definitely, yep, that's what I'm doing.
All right, so when you guys enter in, you peek around the corner, and it's a very muddy kind of lot. It's about like maybe 30 to 40 feet wide all the way around this other castle structure that now looms in front of you. And you're kind of on the corner of it, like it's built off kilter. And it looks like left and right, you can go all the way around this inner castle structure. And there's other structures that are kind of littered about. Behind the castle, what you can't see on the map that I'm currently showing, there is a stable on the backside. And it looks like the stable house is connected right to the inner wall. And this inner wall is maybe about 30 feet high, 30 to 40 feet high, and surrounded by rocks, so it's hard to get up to the actual wall structure. Immediately to your left, there is what looks like a cemetery grounds with some headstones and other things, and a giant mausoleum in the center of that. And then around the path a bit, you can see kind of what looks like an inner stable house of some sort or storage location for various goods that are coming in and out of the main gate. If you follow the kind of muddy path around. Otherwise, it's just an open yard with very sporadic grass. There's more in the cemetery yard itself. It looks like everything else has been trampled down by horse hooves at some point, or wagon wheels.
Now that we'll pull out the map that she had made that one night, and she'll hold it out and show it to everyone and be like, yep. And then there's a stable on the far side, and there's a little well over there, and you can see looking down through the top that there's a second inner wall, and inside that wall then is the other castle. But I don't know where we should go first. Any suggestions? Any ideas?
Didn't we somehow have information that it may have been in one of the towers? I can't remember how or why, but I thought for some reason
when I was here, I saw there was light in one of the towers. Like someone had a light on in one of the windows.
Yeah, there were these like big stained glass windows that you were looking kind of across and down to. It looked like a large, maybe bedroom or chapel or something like that.
Are we seeing lots of people?
What's that?
Are we seeing lots of people around?
It's very strange. No, you are not seeing any people around at all. You do see the horses, and you can hear them stamping their feet every once in a while in the mud. You can hear them kind of breathing in or neighing into the cold, and a little bit of like a poof of mist come out of the stables every once in a while from the horses. But other than that, you don't hear any voices. You don't hear the clanking of armor. But what you do hear, Xavier, with your really high roll, you hear the giggling of children's laughter for a moment.
Coming
just
from
on the wind, as if it's really far away, and then it disappears.
Well, that's creepy.
I don't think anyone else would hear it.
Xavier's gonna... Who's next to Xavier? Who went in first?
Lindell.
He's gonna say to Lindell, "Did you hear that? It sounded like children."
Roll a perception check for me.
Children?
Go ahead and roll a perception check, and we'll see. Nope, you do not hear.
No, I didn't hear anything. What did you hear?
It sounded like children laughing, but it sounded far away, and then it kind of died off.
That's so creepy, Xavier. Why would you say that? There's a cemetery right over there.
Because it happened. Oh, do you think it's ghosts? I've never seen a ghost besides the banshees we fought. Do you think they're any different than banshees?
Hey,
much different.
Jen, you remember when we were at that creepy house, and then there were those ghosts that were like, and were children?
I had one in me. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you get a ghost in?
Ghost hunt.
Oh, there's ghosts in here? No problem. If there's ghosts in here, I got it covered.
That's true. I'm a necromancer now. It's a little less worrisome, I suppose. Did you want to check out the mausoleum then, you? That seems kind of up your alley.
I mean,
you had said something about wanting to like raise an army or something like that.
I mean, yeah, I'd love to dig up courses, and I don't have any love for the Hoppsmiller, so why not? But I really want a centaur. I wonder if they've got any centaurs in there.
I mean, they might have some dead horses and some people. Can you combine them?
Maybe like a weird chop shop type of thing. Maybe Xavier could help with that.
Why don't we just walk around the courtyard for
any dead Hoppsmiller bodies? We're not doing that. That is disrespectful. We're not doing that.
They won't be Hoppsmillers anymore, technically. They'll be Chopsmillers. You get it? No? All right.
If you took multiple bodies and assembled them together in the vague outline of a centaur and then animated it, would it retain that form?
Xavier, you went too far. It's too much.
Where are we getting corpses from for a start?
What I suggested was tasteful, but Xavier, you're overboard, man. Reel it in a little bit.
Find practical solutions to your.
I enjoy your gusto and your imagination, but no, I don't think I'm going to put that many. I don't want a Frankie on my hands.
Well, we're obviously not raising at the moment, but we do need to make use of our time to investigate. We should look around before we're kicked out of here.
Yes. I like that.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys trudge through the mud a little bit. Are you going to go over to the mausoleum inside the cemetery area?
Yeah, where do we go? Where do we want to go first? Because we're right here by this door, right?
Well, if you're trying to hide a powerful artifact, you're probably going to want to put it somewhere not a lot of people are going to go. Mausoleum might be a good place to start.
Well, the mausoleum
I would almost assume it's probably... Go ahead.
Probably what?
So Jen first.
Sometimes there's passageways. I know, in my experience at least, in trying to get from point A to point B, I've found ways from grave sites into other places. It's a great place to put a tunnel.
That's very creepy, but it's also a very good suggestion.
I can confirm, Jen. Yes, most mausoleums have tunnels. People are weird.
Well,
Quiet place. People look.
Why don't people just burn the bodies? I don't get it.
If people burn the
pay our respects.
Animate them, though, would you?
Well, I mean, I'll just raise them up, or somebody else will raise them up. If you really want to protect your dead, just burn them. Anyway, I get off topic.
Fair assessment.
Okay, so you guys head over. Yeah, you head over to the mausoleum. There's a heavy wrought iron fence with little spikes on the edges. Some of them are kind of worn and bent from age. There's a very nice, thick layer of what you thought was grass. It's actually moss growing over the entire grounds. And you can tell that that moss hasn't been disturbed in a very long time, as if maybe this ground is not really allowed to be traversed by many folk that frequent the castle. And you're a little hesitant to enter into that area. So you follow the fence around a little bit, looking at the mausoleum from the outside. And strangely enough, you don't see any doors on that massive structure. You see there's a lot of gravestones, collections of different aged stones with different dates and names on them. And you make your way around to kind of the front corner of the gate, and you can see there is an opening in the wrought iron fence with a heavy gate that is chained shut. And it looks like there's a little bitty path that goes up towards the mausoleum through the moss.
Doesn't it seem odd to not have a way in? Don't people want to venerate their dead if they're keeping them here? Peculiar.
Well, maybe they don't want people like me going in.
Or maybe the way in is from inside the castle, so if we can get in from this way, then we can get into the castle.
That's a good point.
All right, you guys, what do you want to do?
Maybe they want to keep something from getting out.
Oh, don't be like that, that's creepy.
We should explore all possibilities.
Is there anything
Maybe that's
on the building?
Here. Wouldn't that be awful? Maybe not for you. You probably really like it, Xavier. But for that, it would be pretty awful if there were loads of Frankies in here.
Are there any carvings of statues, inscriptions we can see on the sides of the mausoleum from here?
Roll a perception check.
Perception. Oh, for fuck's sakes. All right, well, I got a nat 1, but that makes it a 10.
I mean, other than its normal kind of stone Gothic construction, which you've seen a lot of these types of constructed buildings, mausoleums for families and such on both Auberg and Dominion in your time. It just seems kind of run-of-the-mill. Nothing fancy. No stone structures or anything like that to speak of that are depicting anything. just gravestones and a big old mausoleum.
Is there anything magical about the surrounding fence, or does it seem like there's wards or anything to keep something in or out?
Nope, you
Okay.
do not see any magical auras.
Okay.
I'm super tiny. Can I fit between a section of fence?
Roll a dexterity check.
Or can I try and climb over a fence? Or
I'm like
boing
3 feet tall, and I'm gonna give myself guidance.
Okay. Yeah, you find one of the wrought iron fence bars that's a little bent outward, and you try to squeeze yourself through.
Oh,
It takes you a little bit, but eventually your butt pops through, and you're on the other side. Do you want to
Push
that's
drop?
27. 27
Yeah, no
for
problem.
dexterity.
Yeah, you manage to squeeze your butt through, and you're holding onto the wrought iron fence. You're on the other side of it now.
Where should I go and look? What do you think? Where would a door or something be?
This could be a lot of trouble.
Inside?
Well, Jen, why don't I just I'll do a quick lap. I'll just see if there's any like hidden doors or things like that I can find. And I'll be right back, okay?
You want
Just
me to
tread
come with
lightly.
you?
Can you fit through the fence or over the fence?
Probably jump over it, right? Or climb it or whatever.
Acrobatics check if you'd like to jump over.
Hmm.
It's only like 5.5, not quite 6 feet tall. Pretty easy.
Ah.
Just to avoid the spikes on top.
Woo. 21.
Yeah, you just hop right over. You put your arm or your hand right in between two of the spikes and just leap right over. But you do. You have a choice. When you get to the other side, do you want to land on the little wall that those wrought iron gates are attached to, or are you just going to stomp right down onto the ground?
I'm gonna be a bit nervous that like maybe I'll land on like a dead body. So I'll try and just sort of slide my way down to like a safe patch. Looks like a safe patch.
Yeah, okay. You jump down and try not to disturb the ground below you in case it's like, sacred or hallowed or people are buried there or something. And you land pretty gently, but you do notice that the moss underneath your feet is kind of sticking a little bit to your feet. As you gently try to pull them up, it's disturbing the moss.
Uh-oh.
So Akeem will like off and stand on one foot on the ground, and then just.
The ground is all moss. There is a little bit of a path though that leads up to the mausoleum. You want to jump onto the path?
Yeah, and then
Okay.
can you sort of hold your foot out to Xavier and be like, "Get this gently."
Yeah.
She's just gonna be like saying like "nyong," but just like holding her leg out.
Xavier
I
is
don't wanna-
he's going to try to go over the fence as well. But he's going to hold out his hand and he's going to produce a thorn whip as he whips his hand forward. And he's going to like lash it to the top of the fence and just pull himself off.
Yeah, you do so, and you pull yourself up. You're now on top, and your root feet are kind of straddling in between the spikes up on top.
Is everyone coming over? I was just going to do a quick lap and then come back, but we can all go right?
Safkeen, you do notice that where you jumped from the moss onto the path, it looks like you left one footprint in the grave soil, and the moss was kind of stuck to your foot when you jumped off onto the path, and it's fallen off, and there's like a foot-shaped piece of moss, unrooted, just kind of laying next to the footprint.
Xavier's going to try to drop down onto the path. Could I use Druidcraft to try and put it back where it was, or grow?
So first, roll an acrobatics check for me to jump off the gate onto the path.
So it seems like you take that lump of moss as a sample, like a really big sample. I don't want to leave my footprint behind.
14 total.
Yeah, that's enough. So you jump down onto the path. You'd have to reach a little bit out to get the piece of moss, but you can try. Is
have
Druidcraft a touch spell?
Druidcraft. It's range 30 feet. So
Okay,
I could
then you can do it from where you're standing.
I could also use Mage Hand, because I can do that at will too. So I can pick it up with a Mage Hand, put it back in place, and then use Druidcraft to kind of smooth it over.
Okay, yeah, you use your mage hand and kind of turn it back over and fit it into the spot where it belonged, and then using your Druidcraft, you seam it back together.
Okay, cool.
Is there still moss on my foot?
No, it fell off.
Yay! Thank you,
Okay.
Xavier.
You're welcome.
What
So
do you say?
now-
I go left, you go right?
Sopkeen, Lindell, and Xavier are on the other side of the gate. You and Genevieve are still outside.
If you're gonna look quickly. Keep watch here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just
that
gonna I'm
works,
just
I
gonna go
guess.
quick. Lindell pulls up her hood, and she's gonna very stealthily give herself guidance, and then she's gonna try to do just a quick little lap around the mausoleum. And if there's something where she would leave a footprint, then she'll just walk on the mausoleum itself.
Yeah, no problem with your
Right.
spider boots. Okay,
Exactly. Yeah,
roll
and she'll
and
just do a lap, see if she can find some sort of entrance or something.
sure. You want to take 10 minutes or so?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
5-10 minutes.
minutes.
Okay, go ahead and roll an investigation check for me.
Okay. Do you want me to roll stealth or just investigation?
Just investigation's fine. Are you? If you're trying to be stealthy, you can do a stealth roll right now.
Oh, yeah. 100% stealthy.
Okay, then go ahead and roll your stealth check first.
Oh.
This is a stealth check for the investigation to see how quietly you can investigate.
It's not rolling on roll 20 for some reason, but it's a 25 for the stealth.
25. Okay, yeah, you're pretty quiet. In fact, the rest of the people watching lose sight of you as you round one of the corners.
And then investigation, and then plus my guidance.
I know it's
Oh.
not +0.
8, 1d4.
It's got to be pretty decent.
So
Alright, so you
20
got
total for
20.
investigation.
Really, you don't get a plus? You don't have a bonus to investigation?
Nope, my investigation is literally +0.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay, so 20. Yeah, walking around, you do see that there are various what look like plaques or pieces of stone that are set into the wall that are indicative of people that are, buried horizontally or vertically in walls. And it seems like the outside of the walls are lined with rows of these, where people are buried, I guess, in the wall of the mausoleum. But walking around the outside, you don't see any kind of door to go
Yeah, there's no
inside
way-
the structure.
No way in that we can find.
No, nothing that you can find.
What about the top of the mausoleum?
Oh, I can go up to the top and look.
All right, yeah, you go up top and look using that same investigation roll. It looks like there is a hatch in the ceiling. It is a skylight window that looks like it is latched shut on the inside.
Is it locked? It's locked. It's hatched
It's
on
just
the inside.
a
Okay.
simple latch, yeah.
So I'll give myself guidance and I'll pull up my thieves' tools and see if I can.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll a check with your thieves tools.
It looks like the top of the mausoleum has some statues or something kind of sitting on each of the four corners.
That's just the building and the map maker program.
Oh, okay.
It's not necessarily a feature.
Is there anything that I could grapple onto to pull myself up to?
Yeah, there are some Gothic eaves that you could probably whip a vine onto or something like that.
Okay.
Or use a grappling hook if you've got one.
No, I'm just gonna I can do that at will. I can use the thorn whip at will. So I'm just gonna shoot another one out and grapple onto something up there and pull myself up.
Roll an athletics check for me to climb up the wall. Okay. Unless the vine whip has a feature.
So the Vine Whip actually has a thing where I can pull things to me. I just assumed I'd be able to latch onto something and kind of pull myself up, or at least give myself a
yeah. It'll
climb.
work in the opposite direction. I'll just need the athletics check for you to rappel up the wall.
Okay.
And then Lindell, you manage to slip your thieves' tools in, and no problem, you flick your thieves' tools, and the latch opens up.
20 total.
What do I see inside?
Or sorry, 19 total.
The windows are pretty not foggy. They're just like dirty with grime.
Open the hatch and look inside.
Okay, yeah, you open up. It's like two like paned windows that kind of open up this direction, and you open up one of them and kind of look inside. It's very dusty inside. There's a little bit of a light beam. The sun is almost overhead, and it's kind of overcast today. So in the beam of light, you can just see dust particles flowing in every direction as the wind kind of rushes in from the opening you've created. And it just looks like a small stone room with very few features on the inside. But you can see some more of these like panels in the wall where it looks like people have been, buried vertically or horizontally in the walls inside of the structure as well. And you also see a stairwell, stone stairwell that leads down into the floor.
Ooh.
That's
our way in.
So I'll scurry back to the edge of the roof where Safkeen is and trying to make sure Jen and you can hear me like, psst, hey, I found a way into the mausoleum through the roof. There's a room and there's a stone stairwell that leads down. Should we go inside or what is this our way in?
I think it's a great way in.
If someone throws me a rope, I can see if I can tie it off up here somewhere to help people get up.
I'll hand Lindell a rope. I'm up there, so.
Okay.
How far is it to the roof from where we are at the gate?
Maybe about 120 feet.
We can't get there quietly. Okay, thanks.
I don't understand.
Maybe a little bit less. Maybe about 100 feet.
From the gate to the graveyard, not the gate to the wall.
Gate to the edge of the roof would be about 100 feet.
Okay, thanks.
All right, so Lindell and Xavier are up on the roof now, kind of inspecting this opening, this hatch. Safkeen, what are you doing?
Safkeen was going to try and run around the ground a little bit. But if she can't find anything, then she'll see that everyone's up there, so she'll climb.
Okay, yeah. Which way do you want to go? Clockwise or counter? Wait, what do you guys call it? You have another way of saying it.
Wicker shins?
Yes, that one. Which way are you going around the castle ground?
She'll probably go.
Okay. All right. So you head toward. You're on the back side now of this kind of storage building slash makeshift stable near the front gate. And as you kind of round the back side of it, you can see there's a stone well that's very well constructed, and a kind of grand entrance that leads up to another smaller doorway that looks like it's only for foot traffic. It looks like some carts could go in there, but not horse traffic. And as you round that corner, it's very interesting, but you don't see any guards. You don't see any people. It's like this place is deserted.
This whole mausoleum-y bit. Cool.
Like this whole outer area.
The whole courtyard.
Yeah, this whole courtyard area just seems empty, deserted. You don't even see guards, really. You peek around the corner of this stable area, looking toward the front gate. You do see a little bit of torchlight flickering in the inner gatehouse of the main entrance, but that's about it. You want to keep going?
Yeah, she'll go sneakily, stealthily.
Okay, go ahead and roll a stealth check for me.
I'm not sure whether she should try and use her key to monk sonar yet, but Still. Sorry, my thing's taking a while to like roll.
You're kind of getting stuck in the muck and the mud a little bit as you kind of slop your way through this open courtyard. You're getting now to the point where you're almost out of eye shot from the rest of the party. If you'd like to continue, you can, but you are kind of making a little bit of noise.
I don't know what my dice. I don't know what anything's.
What would Safkeen like to do? You want to keep going?
Can't hear anything.
It's weird. You feel like you're being noisy and that somebody should take notice, but nobody's noticing.
I don't think anybody's here.
Ah! She's dead.
What happened?
No!
Where's our Safkeen? She's just completely gone out of eye shot, and you guys don't know where
She fell
is.
into the mud.
She had a big smoke.
Just face plant, and she comes back covered in mud.
Camouflage.
Can Tritons swim in mud?
I
And
mean,
Tritons breathe in mud.
Maybe, I don't know.
probably not. No, I don't think so.
All right, yeah, you are getting a little muck covered from the knees down, but
Okay.
you want to keep on?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, you keep on trudging through the mud around the main castle structure. It's not really, there's nothing really going on. The door to the main entrance is shut once you get past that ramp that goes up to the main castle. So it looks like it's closed, at least for the morning. And you keep trudging through, and eventually there's a little bit of a squeeze on one corner to get past the front facade of the castle to the back side. You want to squeeze through? In between the two castle walls.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll
You peek around the corner a little bit. You don't see anything back there, but it looks like there is grass here. So probably not much foot traffic on this side of the castle. It's a very narrow kind of triangular shape, long triangular shape, where one wall was kind of hastily built around another. And your footfalls are leaving muddy footprints in the grass.
Safkeen will notice this and just try and like. Can she? She's like, maybe I should take my shoes off and just walk barefoot.
Yeah, you can take off your shoes. You walk barefoot through. That's fine. Yeah, that'll help with your stealth a little bit too. So very quietly and gingerly, you walk through kind of this frosty green grass. It's very cold, and you start to shiver a little bit as you get to the other side. And rounding around the backside, there are the stables. The main stables. Yep.
At the
And
beginning.
you can see the horses all lined up, kind of breathing mist into the air. And you can see the cracked castle door in the back. When you keep heading back around, eventually you do make it back to the mausoleum.
Okay.
Saf, did you see anything? Is there anybody out there?
Everything seems absolutely closed. She'll put her muddy boots back on. I just got
Can we
stuck
sneak
in
in?
mud.
Oh, jeez.
Right, so are we going in the mausoleum, or what are we doing?
I'm ready.
I'm ready anytime, you guys.
I'm going to
Okay,
pull a Xavier and try to climb the fence and jump to the path. I'd like to do that, to walk over
All right,
to the
go ahead and roll an acrobatics check for me.
I'm sorry, what check?
Can Safkeen give her like
Acrobatics.
a boop? A boop up?
Yeah, you can give him a little boost with advantage.
Oh, thanks.
Like, fling you in the air like an acrobat. Ah!
That's nice. It's a 19. Yep.
19. Okay, yeah, you easily kind of flip over the backside and you're hanging onto the gate, trying not to jump down into the moss, and you kind of shimmy over onto the path.
Perfect. And I'll walk over to the vine and turn around and wait then for Safkeen and you to come along.
You is like, I do not want to tear my dress on these. Let's see. I don't really want to use magic. Can somebody pick this lock? She goes over to the gate, and there's this big padlock, and she kind of shakes it on these chains. Can somebody unlock this? Wait, maybe I can do it. Cece was trying to teach me. It's a test. Maybe she's watching. And you is going to try and pick the lock.
Yeah, she's got her own set of thieves tools, doesn't she?
She breaks off her thieves' tools inside the lock.
Oh, damn it.
Damn it!
Saf, you're pretty athletic.
Where is she?
Do you think she could just ride on your back? Can you pick her up, give her a piggyback?
I mean, you's about the same height as me, right? She's a little bit taller.
A little bit taller, yeah.
Those stuff can get like fireman lift. Huh.
She's wearing a long black dress that comes all the way down to her ankles.
Safkeen. Okay, Safkeen's going to and she pulls some water out of her water skin and like plop it on the lock and then see if she can try and freeze it and break it.
Yeah, easily enough. You pull a little bit of water out of your water skin and you freeze the lock. Now what?
And then she's just gonna sort of
You flick it and it hurts a little bit.
yeah.
It's cold.
Rendel's gonna call down from the roof. Don't break the lock. If you break the lock, then someone knows we've been in here.
Safkeen, if you want to try and break the lock, you can.
I mean, Safkeen knows that this will do it, but down here she can't think of anything else.
Just break the lock. Who gives a crap? We're leaving footprints everywhere.
It's not that hard to climb. I could do it. Jen's going to start showing you how she could bunch up her skirt to make it look like pantaloons.
Oh,
so that
nice.
it might be a little... See, you could just tie it off.
All right. And she hikes up her dress a little bit, tying it off. And what am I doing? All right. And she begins to try and climb up with the help of Safkeen and Genevieve. And she's going to roll her acrobatics with advantage. Good thing she rolled a natural 20 and a 9. So yeah, she makes it up and over and hops back down onto the path, untying her dress. Now what?
Safkeen.
Are you going to join them, Safkeen, on the other side?
Yes.
Easy enough. You hop over the fence. You've done it once before. You're pretty acrobatic at this point. All right. So everybody's down in front of the mausoleum path now. Xavier and Lindell up on the roof. Now what?
We find Xavier and I are looking for a place to tie off the rope somewhere on the roof so that people can use it to climb up onto the roof.
Yeah, sure. You find a place where there's kind of an ornamental piece that looks pretty heavily structured, and you tie the rope off to it and drop it down. It's maybe about 20 feet to the roof, and you guys can start to climb. I'll just need athletics checks.
So before you starts to climb, I'm going to give her some inspiration because I know that climbing is her forte.
All right.
She's not here, so...
Yu's going to go first. She got a 2 and 8. So that's 10. I don't think she has much strength. No, not very good. She makes it up about halfway and stops and looks down. I can't go anymore. I'm stuck.
Safkeen will start climbing up.
Can you guys
Xavier, grab onto the rope. Let's help pull her up. Come on, Xavier. Let's pull you up.
Lindell and Xavier together trying to pull the two smallest of the party.
I have a 10 strength, but I'm giving it my all.
I was going to say, it's going to be with disadvantage, but since you're doing it together, it'll just be a straight roll. So you choose who does the straight roll.
Is it an athletics check or just a strength
Athletics.
check? Okay, I have a +3 athletics. What do you think?
Oh, hang on a second. I have advantage on athletics checks. Why do I have advantage on that? Oh, rope of climbing. Oh my
You
god.
have a rope of climbing.
Rope of climbing. That's probably the rope I handed to you. I'm gonna drop it down.
Yep.
And it will.
The rope just pulls her up, and she grips on and gets onto the roof, just panting, slumps over the side, and the rope coils itself back down for the rest.
Covers difficult situations you encounter. Yeah.
So I'm guessing that Safki and Genevieve follow suit.
Yeah.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah. Very gracefully, Safkeen kind of just wraps her arm around and it pulls her up, and she hops on top.
Look at my gear from time to time.
And then Genevieve as well joins you guys on the roof. You pull back.
I imagine Jen doing a very like Mary Poppins, where she like steps onto the end of the rope and then just like holds onto it like an elevator.
At this point, you guys can hear a little bit of voice commotion coming from the rear gate. You hear the two voices of Barnabas and Rajuan having a discussion. It sounds like it's just outside the cracked gate. But you guys are up on the roof, so you can't really... Well, I mean, if you want to try, you can try and make out what they're saying.
I'm going to dive into that hatch once I hear voices.
You're diving in head first?
Oh, God.
No.
Oh, God.
Rushing to jump, but I'm jumping in blindly, I guess. Yes, but not head first. Feet first.
Acrobatics check. Okay. As you guys just watch Genevieve bloop right down into the open hatch.
Ben.
That was a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You do a 3-point landing, and you're just in this quiet space. It's a beam of light coming out through the ceiling, and you kind of pan around. It's a little bit hard to breathe and stuffy inside. The walls are covered in a heavy, heavy dust, as well as the floor, which you look down and you've made a little bit of a scuffle in the almost inch thick, just dirt and dust and grime that's on the stone floor. Looks like this has been closed up for some time. But you do see at the edge of the light, there is a stairwell made of stone that descends down into the floor, into the darkness.
I'm going to step towards the stairs, so I'm out of the way of the hole for people to drop down, and then wait. Come on down, guys, quick, before anyone sees you.
Xavier, quick, let's get everyone to use the rope and get through the hole.
Okay. I'll move the rope and get it to knot itself on something near where we can drop down through the...
Yeah, easy enough. There's a fixture nearby that it wraps itself around and drops down in. And you guys, one by one, make your way down into the mausoleum.
Lindell will be the last one in, and when she goes in, she does this thing where she holds onto the edge of the roof, swings her legs in, and then gets her feet stuck on the underside of the roof, so that then she can use her hands to close the latch behind her.
Very nice. Yep, you close the latch. When you go to close the latch, you can hear the voices getting a little bit louder, as if Rajuan and Barnabas are maybe looking for you guys. But you close the latch and latch it shut. And
then she'll walk down the wall back down to the... And while she's walking down the wall, she'll cast light on Kumo.
Okay, yeah, you cast light on Kumo. Everyone can now see the inner portion. It's pretty small for as large as the outside structure is, but that's because you guys are now surrounded by dead bodies, buried in the walls and potentially the floor, the ceiling. But you're surrounded by dead bodies. You takes a big, deep breath in. Smells like new friends.
You are lucky I like you so much, because you're...
She claps her hands and rubs them together. I'm in my element. What are we doing now?
You said there were stairs?
Yeah,
right
there's
over there.
stairs leading down right at the edge of the light coming in from the skylight.
We can go down here, it looks like. Should we continue?
With the light from Kumo, you can see that the stairwell descends down pretty far. Far enough that you can't see the end of it.
Why don't we start heading down? I can sneak a little bit ahead to keep an eye on things, and then why don't we all go down?
Great. I'm happy to go near the front. I can see quite clearly with or without light. So.
Oh yeah, maybe should someone with dark vision go first? So we should definitely be looking for traps, right? There's all sorts of things in these mausoleums. There's floor plate traps. There's rope traps. There's magic traps.
There's rattle
So
traps. There's. You starts listing off all the names of her Boney McBones. There's.
So someone who has dark vision, who can sneak, and who can look for traps should be the first person to go.
I don't know if I can.
And I can sneak, but I can't look for traps because that's probably investigation, and my investigation sucks.
Well, maybe what if Xavier goes first, and I can give you Blessing of the Trickster that'll make you extra sneaky, and then you can use your magic sight to look for traps and whatnot.
I have a decent stealth, so I will try. Sure. He's gonna go.
Blessings of the Trickster, the opponent.
All right. You cast Blessing of the Trickster. So any of you guys that are wanting to be stealthy, I would say roll stealth checks now.
Do I feel trixier?
15 will do a stealth.
I guess as a group, you're wanting to be stealthy?
I rolled a
Yes.
23.
23 for Xavier. You got a 10. An 8 for Genevieve.
Do we get advantage?
That Blessing of the Trickster, is that on everyone or just one person?
On Xavier, right?
Yeah, on Xavier.
Just on Xavier. I get
Okay.
advantage because of my cloak.
Right.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you get
Sorry,
any bonus.
just loading. Please bear with me.
See if you
no,
get
it already
any
rolled.
bonus on stealth.
Loading to.
Nope. Yep. Okay. Yeah, you got a 10. Jen got an 8. Xavier got over 20. Lindell, how'd you do?
15.
15,
Pretty
and
bad
then
for me.
Sufkeen.
15. That is being terrible. I'm very sorry. Take this.
What am I hearing? Is that a blow dryer?
What is that?
I don't know.
I don't know what's happening. My internet is being terrible. Wish I just had my regular dice.
Go get your dice.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you is going to fall and hit Genevieve, and Genevieve kicks a little rock, and the rock goes tink to tink 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 down the stairs into the darkness. You guys wait for a minute. You don't hear anything. Sorry about that. It's a little tricky in here.
It's hard walking in these big skirts. I get it.
I haven't been in one of these in a while. I keep tripping over my dress. Maybe it's a problem. That's that. Keith? Wait, no, that's Lindell. Okay.
No, sorry, I was just looking at her page.
Okay.
I mean, unless she wants to take that role.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa!
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, to keep it honest, we would take the first one.
Yeah.
So a 6. So yeah, you trips and falls into Genevieve. Genevieve kicks a stone down, and as we're being all quiet, Safkeen just comes tumbling down the stairs. You took a wrong step, and you just go down on your butt, just leaving a groove in the dust. Eventually, you stop about 8 stairs down, just on your back. Ow.
I'm going to walk over and help her up, and as I'm doing so, I say, that was not stealthy.
Not stealthy at all.
No, it wasn't, was it?
Are you okay,
All that.
Okay, round 2. All right, let's get to the bottom of this thing. So you
Okay.
guys continue
I'm going
down
for it.
the
Yep.
stairwell, making your way all the way until it finally flattens out. You think maybe you're a couple stories beneath the surface at this point, and it takes a hard right turn. There's a brazier on the wall there that looks like it can be lit. And then to the right, the passageway leads kind of maybe about 20 feet or so down this kind of crudely carved stonework path, and there is a wrought iron gate at the end.
Let's go investigate the gate.
Okay, yeah. As you
Mhm.
approach, you can see bands of light kind of shining through the bars of the gate into a more open area that looks like a maybe 20 by 40 foot tall. I don't know what to call it. A dungeon is what it looks like.
No.
And
What's the
there
name?
are three more locked gated doorways on the right side of this long structure, this long tall structure, and there's a stairwell on the other side that leads up to a platform, and on top of the platform there's a ladder that leads straight up.
Is it locked?
Gate locked? Yeah.
Yes, the gate is locked.
All right. Xavier, is there any magic on this gate at all? Can you see?
Not that I've seen. I'm still
Oh.
using my Eldritch Sight, right?
Yeah, you're still using your Eldritch Sight?
Okay. So-
there's
So I'll
no
give my-
magic that you can
Okay.
make out. Not yet.
Give myself guidance and start with the lock picking.
All right, go ahead and roll your check. Pick that lock.
Do it, do it, do it.
25.
25, easy enough. It only takes you a few seconds, and the gate is open. Why did you do that earlier?
Well, we're trying not to show where we were, right? Because if the
Ah,
lock was
whatever.
broken and the gate was open, they would know we were in the mausoleum.
I almost tore my dress because of you.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I'll make it up.
Linda,
Don't even let
great
me
idea.
bring corpses back to life. Come on.
Okay.
Um,
After you, Miss Master Exorcist.
Yeah. She walks through the gate, looking around.
Too snarky.
Too snarky. Okay. Yeah, you guys make your way into this this tall chamber, this dungeon, so to speak, and inside these other gated, locked archways on the right side, you can see skeletons shackled to the wall in two of them. The third one is empty, but it looks like there's some kind of a wooden rack with shackles on it, and there's like a dried red stains all over this wooden platform. It's kind of gruesome.
Here's the Hoppsmillers have skeletons in their closet.
Good. That's very funny, Xavier. Well done. Yes, good job.
I do like skeletons.
It's odd though to have this a dungeon. Aren't they in charge of making liquor? Doesn't it seem
Yeah.
strange?
Yeah. Are they
They would-
making wine out of people?
I mean, we're in a castle. Castles have dungeons, I guess.
It's Soylent Mead.
Maybe
People
they
are
just
crazy.
keep their enemies here.
Hmm.
Maybe they keep people that break into the castle here.
Well, I mean, we know how to get out of this dungeon, obviously, so that
True.
wouldn't be an issue.
Fair point.
It looks like they've been long dead. Can we see the skeletons have like no meat on them, right? Like they're like white boned.
Roll a medicine check.
I hope this is not where the spirit now has come to, you know.
They could have died yesterday, for all you know. You don't know how that stuff works. Decomposition. I don't know. They're bones. They could have died yesterday. It could have been 5 years ago. Could have been 100 years ago. I don't know.
They're dead.
They're dead. That you
Should
have
we-
determined.
No
Did we
shit,
head
no.
up the ladder?
Hmm.
Yeah, there's a
That's what I wanted to look.
stairwell to a platform that's about maybe 15 feet up, and then there's a crude ladder that goes up into a hatch in the ceiling.
I'm gonna head up the stairs, searching for traps or pressure plates, anything weird that might be down here.
Yeah, do an investigation check.
Investigation. That was a bad investigation check. I got an 11.
Yeah, you don't see anything that looks like it's trapped. The ladder and hatch that lead upward, though rickety, don't seem like they're intentionally trapped.
Everything is perfectly
As
fine.
you get to that ladder, you do notice there is a magical aura coming from the hatch in the ceiling.
What kind of magical aura? Can I determine its type?
You should be able to, yes. But
I think
do I
enough.
know it? No.
Well, is it any kind of aura that could go boom? I guess that's the important question.
Yes, abjuration is like the blocking, and evocation is like the.
Yeah, abjuration.
Conjuration. It's abjuration?
Abjuration, yes.
So it's protective magic, so it could be a ward. It could be just keeping it shut. Could be an alarm spell. It might be something we need to take out before we proceed through.
Xavier, you have some of that anti-magic dirt we picked up in the cave with Lilith. Maybe you could throw some of that on it or rub it on it.
Do I? I have some of the anti-magic dirt?
You have dirt that stops magic.
What?
You have
You
one
called it, I
sample
think-
of residuum powder from the floor of the dungeon in the Black Market Society.
If you want to be official, that's how you put it, but I call it dirt that stops magic.
This powder was
Anti-magic
keeping
dirt.
Genevieve from casting spells.
I've only got one sample of it?
That's it. You rolled really shitty on your investigation check to collect samples. Sorry. I think you got an 11, so I was very generous to give you one.
Hey, can't you cast the spell magic?
Yes, you can, but if you cast that, what can't I cast? That is the question.
Counterspell.
Anything.
So you think I can dispel it?
Well, what is it? Does
I
it matter?
do have one third level slot for dispel.
Huh.
I mean, we could rest here for a little bit if that helps. But nobody knows we're down here.
Well, and it could be a simple lock that just needs a knock spell, or... I mean, we could try to open it.
Why don't
If
we
you
just
want
look
me
around
to
this
be
room
able to
for a minute?
counterspell, if you want me to be able to make our tiny hut, if you want me to be able to speak with the dead corpses, then I won't be able to do that.
Hey, yeah, should we just talk to one of the corpses?
I would love to talk to a corpse right now.
Yeah, but which one? We have to choose one.
Well,
Right.
That's true.
Why don't we look around and see if we can find anything else in this room? Any other valuables or shiny bits or traps or anything like that?
Messages too. You never.
And then maybe
Yeah, someone scratched a message on a wall or something.
Okay. Everybody
okay.
want to take a
Let's
little
start.
bit of time and look around?
Yes.
Sure.
All right. So everybody roll or choose one person to roll with advantage, or all of you can roll individually.
I'm a great choice for investigation, guys. Just saying.
I'm a +8, so.
I'm a +10.
Ooh. Okay. You got me.
Jen.
Saying
I will
All right.
give you guidance as we go.
All right. So Jen with advantage and a D4 for guidance.
Oh, and D4. Okay, I'll do the D4 first because that's fun. 3.
Mm-hmm.
We're off to a good start.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then 22 or 25. 25 plus 3, 28.
28. You find everything.
Woo!
Okay, so the two dungeon gates that are with the skeletons are locked. But looking inside, it does look like one of them has a pile of something in the corner that is covered in dust and like rat nest pieces, and you're not sure what's in that pile, but you'd have to unlock the gate to get in it. The second one, it's just the bones shackled to the wall straight in front. Doesn't look like there's anything of note in here. The last one, you find this one is unlocked, and when you head inside, it looks like the rack torture device. There's dried blood on it. There are no corpses inside, but you do find some tools, and these tools don't look like any kind of crafting tools you've ever seen before.
Torturer's tools.
Most likely. Some of them have dried blood on them as well. And the floor is covered in hay, which you're guessing is probably to soak up the blood.
David, can I use a mage hand to unwrap the bundle that's in the corner without actually going in there? So, like, do it from a distance, see if it's worth our time to even go in.
Yeah, that's fine. So you send your mage hand in to pull, pull whatever gross linens or dirty stuff there is. You do so, and underneath there is a swarm of rats that scurries out straight towards you. Roll initiative.
Oh, rats.
Genevieve, right when this happens, you discover that the stairwell that leads up to that platform, there is a little drainage hole in it, and from that there are two more sets of rat swarms that scurry out as well. You have a little bit of reaction time before they get to you.
Cool.
All right. So everybody go ahead and do your initiatives. I've got you. I think all of you guys are there. Genevieve's not on there. Genevieve, just use the black one with the knife. The one that's a 21. Just use that one. I think that's the rest of you guys.
Can I take that roll too?
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
No, I didn't. I got a 4.
Okay. All right. I'm going to roll for you real quick.
I'm just going to refresh because that's all empty to me.
D&D is fun.
On Roll20? How are you doing that?
Oh yeah, we didn't show you this part yet. So there's a new extension. I don't know how new it is, but there's an extension that you can get for Google Chrome, where if you add the extension to Google Chrome, you can click on your D&D Beyond character sheet and it will roll the dice in Roll20 for you.
How do I do that? That sounds cool.
So if you scroll up in the Short Expectations Messenger past the note from last time and past the awesome game that Brian suggested, there's a picture of a Google Chrome extension called Beyond 20. And if you add that extension to your Google Chrome, you can click on the button in D&D Beyond and it'll roll in Roll20 for you.
You, Auburnell, is not rolling well tonight. She got a 5.
She's not alone.
Genevieve, you got a what? 6? 4.
Oh.
Okay. Did you guys all enter yours in there?
Oh, I didn't yet. Sorry, hang on.
I can't see the turn tracker, but I have it in the chat.
Yeah, I don't. I see the turn, but there's nothing in there for me.
It's an empty box.
Well, I'm going to have to freak out for 20 minutes and figure out how to get this map to scale correctly to the grid. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, God.
And then all of you are getting banned, and I'm taking $15.
No! No! It's too much!
That's it. Spiralia's done, guys. This is the straw that broke the camel's back.
It's spiraling out of control.
Not again.
I'm ghosting all of you after this. All right. Yeah, so we're going to do this theater to the mind since Sada's not here, and we can do this because we can all see pictures in our head. So you guys are in what looks like about a 100 by 15 foot chamber, 40 feet high, with a little platform and stairs leading up to that ladder. And there are 3 dungeon cells. Each one is about maybe 5 by 10 on the inside. So that would be what 5 by 10 is. 2 squares on the inside of each of these dungeon cells. And then the gate behind you. The rat swarm is right now in front of Xavier coming out of that pile.
Okay.
And there are 2 more coming toward Genevieve, but she's about 10, 15 feet away from them. And they've still got to scurry out towards you. So there's 3 rat swarms. We're going to say that you is near Genevieve. Lindell and Safkeen in between.
Okay.
All right. So initiative order. So who is first? I don't have the initiative.
I go with 10.
It's in the chat, or?
Yeah, I was in the chat. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out how to hook up Beyond 20.
I got 20.
If you go, are you in Google Chrome?
I am, and I click the button, and it says Beyond 20 Quick Setting. That came up.
I'm guessing you guys mean the Discord chat, because I don't see it anywhere else.
Oh, it's in. We see in the Roll20 chat. Safkeen got a 22. Xavier.
Oh, there we go. Okay,
Looks
okay,
like
okay.
10. Lindell
Wow.
21.
Not very good, are they? Let's see how the rats do. Rats got a natural 20. So
Oh.
based
That
on
roll-
Dex, Safkeen would be first, then Lindell, then the rats, then. Wait a minute.
Oh, there you got it working, Kit.
Yeah,
Yay.
sure did. Okay, so yeah, Jen and Safkeen will be going
That's
last. You rolled she rolled really low. She rolled a 6, yeah. So let me. No, a 5, sorry. And then Lindell, you got 21. Xavier got 20. No, where's Xavier's?
Xavier is
13? Wait, that's an acrobatics roll.
I was just playing with the extension. I was
Oh,
just
what
trying.
did you actually get?
I got a 10.
10. Okay. So 10 and 4 and 4 and 5, and the rat's got nat 20. So first up is going to be Lindell? Yeah, Lindell. What would you like to do?
Oh. Did Safkeen go? I thought Safkeen was first.
I thought Safkeen got a 4 on her. Oh, 7 on
No,
your
scroll
initiative
up.
roll?
She got a 22 was her first.
Oh, 22. Okay, so yeah, Safkeen's first.
Where are ratsies again?
You can get to either swarm of rats, but the rats have not scurried out into the open, the ones that are coming for Genevieve. They're still behind like a sewer grate type thing. But the other rats that are coming towards Xavier, they're behind a gate too that's locked. So from your perspective, it'll be very hard to get to either, but you could block. I guess you could stand and wait for them to come to you, unless you've got some other ideas. So I'd say go for Xavier's rats or Genevieve's rats.
Are they both behind gates?
Yes.
Can I shoot some water at the gates from my decanter?
You
And
can. The
freeze it?
gate near Xavier is a big gate, so you might not be able to freeze that. But the smaller one, where the 2 swarms of rats are coming towards Genevieve at the bottom of the stairs, you might be able to freeze over that one.
Okay. I'll try and do that.
All right, so you're going to use your water skin and shape the flowing river?
Yeah.
All right, you shape the flowing river. You use a key point to freeze, I think. Is that how that works?
Yeah.
All right, and you freeze the water. Go ahead and make... we'll do dexterity for this one. Make a dexterity check for me to see how much coverage you can get.
Okay. Oh, dex. Just a straight dex.
Yep, you're trying to just direct the flow of water and the freezing to kind of cover that pathway.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Roll a dex check.
I never know if thing's gone to this or not. Okay, it has. Sometimes I just have to hit it twice because I'm never sure.
Yeah, that's fine. So
Oh, it's rolling.
7. All right.
No,
So
I'm just like spraying everyone with.
no, I mean you shape the flowing river. You push your water out of your water skin towards that little opening, but that sewer grate is designed to take water in and drain. So the water kind of goes into it, but it does get the surface wet and you freeze it. What that's done is created a slippery path and kind of a tighter squeeze for those rats to get through. And you notice as they're scurrying out, they're kind of slipping a little bit and sliding as they try to claw their way out. But the swarm begins to kind of pile on top of one another, and eventually they are going to get out. But you've slowed them down a little bit.
Yay!
All right. Do you want to stay put, or do you want to go toward the rats?
I will move towards the rat.
Genevieve's or Xavier's?
Jen's.
Okay. Yep. So you move up near Genevieve, ready to pop the rats as they come out. Next up is Lindell. What would you like to do?
So for Lindell, the rats are super old hat. I imagine like in Sub 1, she probably has eaten rats at some point.
Yeah.
So this is like whatever kind of thing.
True,
So
but you as an urchin and other urchins know that if you see a swarm of rats, if you're by yourself, yeah, you kind of want to get away from that. But if you're in a group of people, no big deal.
So there's there's one by Xavier. Sorry, there's one by Jen.
There's
and
two by Jen, but they have been kind of slowed down by the freezing.
And one by Xavier.
Yep.
Okay, so she would have been watching pretty closely about that package that Xavier had unwrapped.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll use her action to toll the dead on that rat group.
Okay, that rat group has not taken damage yet.
Yeah, so I did the D8. So wisdom saving throw from that swarm, please.
All right, wisdom save. That's a nat
So
1.
Lindell will just hold out her fingers and she'll just snap. And there's a silent echo as she casts Toll the Dead, and that group takes 8 points of necrotic damage.
You see the swarm of rats kind of, they not keel over, but they stop in their tracks and kind of roll on their backs a little bit in pain as you toll the dead on them. So that is 8 points of damage. Psychic damage?
Necrotic damage.
Necrotic. Very nice. You can see the flesh start to peel off some of them, the hair. You can see some open sores on some of them as well as they try to get
almost
back
ready
to their
for lunch. Perfect.
All right.
That's the end of my turn.
Okay.
I'm low on stuff, so I don't got a lot of stuff to do.
Savior's rats. Here, that's 8. Doing
Battle of the
math in my
Candidates.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Okay.
And
Next
by the
up
way, I have
is
a
the
question.
rats.
These rats don't have like their brains exposed.
No, not like the cranium rats that you guys experienced in the sewers before.
Yeah.
Just checking.
No,
Checking.
these are just normal ass rats.
Cool, thank you.
Xavier, that swarm gets back to their feet and lunges out of the prison cell, and gnashing teeth start to surround you as you're pushed backward a little bit. Let's see here. They are going to do bite attack.
No. Bad rat.
That is a 5 to hit.
That's a miss. Thankfully.
Wow. Okay. That's it for that one. That's all rats can do apparently. The rest of them, as they slip and slide and pile up behind that little sewer grate, they can't quite get out to bite at Jen or Safkeen. So they're going to be stuck there in that opening until their next round. But they are now all exposed. None of them are behind gates. Next up is Xavier.
So how close are the two rat swarms? Are they within 10
They're
feet?
on you. You're surrounded by them.
But how close are they in proximity to each other? Not to me, but...
I mean, if you're in a 5-foot square, they're kind of occupying the squares all around you.
Okay, so... let's see.
I'll put it this way. The reach of a bite from a swarm of rats is 0 feet. So they have to be on you. So you're like covered in rats.
Are they within a 10 feet cube from me? So like if I centered it up...
Easily, yes.
10 feet out, I get most of them. Okay,
This
activate
one swarm, yes.
I'm going to activate my Fey presence.
All right,
And
you do your Fey presence.
I'm just going to point at them and say, no!
All right.
And I'm going to make them afraid of me. They get a saving throw, will save DC 15, or become charmed or frightened until the end of my next turn.
Which would you like to do?
I'm going to frighten them.
Good, because they rolled an 8. So they are all frightened, and they immediately drop to the ground and scurry away from you in the direction of Genevieve and Safkeen.
Oh, crap. I figured they'd just toddle off, not attack others.
They're trying to get away from you as fast as possible. But there are still intruders in their space.
Then if I see that, I still have movement, right? I'm going to move toward Safkeen and Genevieve to keep making them run past them, essentially.
Yes. Yeah, that's fine.
So if I still have movement, I'm going to herd them essentially away from my friends.
Yeah, that works. So you kind of run around them to try and get them back, and they scurry off toward the entrance you guys came in.
Okay.
To try and avoid you. And not making eye contact.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Xavier's turn. On to you. And you is going to take a page out of Lindell's book and do the same thing, A Toll the Dead. She's going to do it on the swarm of rats. Oh, hell. She's going to go ahead and double up on the swarm of rats that Xavier just feared away. So, let's see here. Back to you. Where's your character sheet? Gosh, she has a lot of spells.
Where did Thomas go?
Not sure.
He's there. He's just not there. Maybe he had to pee.
Maybe.
phone call.
I did have to
Wisdom
pee,
save.
but I'm also making a fresh pot of tea. I'm
All
moving, though.
So she
Tea and
points
tea.
at the swarm of rats and does her bells and wisdom save. Wow, they saved? Come on. I guess because they're all feared, they can't. They're a little bit preoccupied, but they are still going to. No, they don't take any damage on a save. Yeah.
Nope, it's a cantrip. Failed save means no damage.
No damage. Okay, that's you, Auburnell's turn. She's going to stay put. On to Genevieve. Safkeen.
Right. It's pretty dark in here, right?
Very dark, yes. There's
Okay,
no
so
light
I'm
other
gonna-
than what's coming from Kumo.
Are the two swarms in front of me, is one closer than the other?
Nah, they're kind of on top of each other, just piled.
Okay, well, I'm going to pick one of them.
Yep.
You can choose which one.
Sure.
And knowing that it's dark, Jen's going to twist her face and jut out her jaw and go, "Push, dog!" in Orcish, screaming at them while casting Vicious Mockery. And in
Nice.
Orcish, she just called them dung, just so you know.
So they have to do a wisdom save?
I believe so. Yep, a wisdom save.
All right, wisdom saving throw.
And then
That
they
is a
fail.
7. They fail.
So they're going to take 4 damage from my
4 damage,
tiny
but that's damage. So when you yell at the rats in Orcish, they all stop and look at you, baring their teeth. And then they all kind of wince a little bit. You hear some little squeaks of pain coming out of them. Half of them, anyway. The other swarm unfazed.
I
Would
want
you
to
like
jump
to
back
move?
10 feet then, too. Yeah,
Okay,
10 feet
yeah, you back
please.
up 10 feet all the way to the wall to get as far away from him as you can. Next up is Safkeen.
Are they running away?
Some of the rats were kind of like squirming a little bit from Genevieve's vicious mockery, and Genevieve has just backed the fuck up. So you're just there in between Genevieve, and one swarm of rats is coming at you. The other one is a little bit dazed.
Okay. Sufkin's just gonna run at the swarm of rats that's running towards her and just try and stamp on them.
Stomp, stomp.
Stop.
All right, go ahead and roll to attack.
Stop.
You've dealt with rats on a ship before. You're not phased by these guys. You're just gonna stomp them to death. Nice. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you make contact with every one of your stomps. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, good job.
Squishing rats left and right.
Okay, my first unarmed strike. Yes. This is like slowed me down a lot. 10.
10 points of damage. Nice. You squish a couple of rats under your feet so hard that they just splatter into blood and muck. The last one, you just brain it. Just his head is gone. It looks like about half of that rat swarm is gone.
Yeah.
You want to attack again?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hey, you! Since these are small, could you animate a lot of them?
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Rat King?
Rat King. Skelerat King.
You know, I didn't realize a Rat King is a real thing. That a rat
really?
can get its tails tangled and they can't get undone. And they live like that. Like entangled in a giant cluster. Yeah. Like it's crazy looking.
That's
it's a real thing,
disgusting.
Though. So she should totally do that.
I like that idea. That's good. Learning from nature.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Safkeen, how'd you do? 27 again. Nice. So you brain a couple more rats. Roll damage.
Oh, is it rolling in the thing as well?
If you just click on where it says unarmed strike in the Roll20 chat, if you just click on that, it should auto roll the damage for you.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
There you go.
5 points. Very nice. So there's only a couple more rats left in this swarm. You've decimated the rest of it in a matter of 6 seconds.
Good job.
You've stamped maybe 8 rats to death.
Can I do my unarmed strike for my bonus?
Yes, you may. Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to flurry of blows it because I can't be bothered.
Yeah, Safkeen's just tap dancing on rats over here. Doing a little vaudeville act with a top hat. That hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yay.
Stomp, stomp.
Stomp, stomp. Did it roll in here? I didn't. I got a 10.
10. Okay, very nice. So the last few rats, you stomp the last one, and then you just punt the other one across the room, and it hits the wall. And just falls to the ground. One swarm is completely gone. Safkeen, would you like to stay put or move? You are in range of the other swarm, so you will provoke opportunity attack if you move out of range.
No, she'll stay there.
All right, you stay put.
Her feet on the stones a bit.
All right, next up is Lindell.
Awesome. So Lindell is kind of jealous at how much fun Safkeen is having. So she's gonna draw her dagger and she's gonna run up to the nearest group of rats, and she's just gonna start trying to stab at them.
All right. Two-handed? Or are we going like...
No one-handed, but kind
Just
of
one-handed.
like yeah, just jab, 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 jab.
Yeah, you charge in like you've seen a million rats in your day. Just bloodthirsty with your dagger. And roll to attack.
And
Rat
then,
kebab.
did it roll the? Oh, it
Rat
did. It
kebab,
rolled the
rat.
divine strike damage
It sure
too.
did,
Oh, that's
yeah,
so
so-
cool.
9 points of damage,
So
I believe.
there's a bit of poison that just continuously drips off her dagger. So 9 points of
Nice.
poison damage.
9
and
points
then
of
as-
poison damage. Very good.
Yeah.
Are you
And-
doing the rats that Safkeen is fighting, or the ones that were just feared by Xavier?
Oh, the one that Safkeen's fighting.
Safkeen's fighting. Okay, got it. So 9 points of damage
Didn't
there.
I kill all the swarm?
What's up?
Pardon?
Didn't I kill all that swarm?
You did, but there was a second swarm there.
The other
Are
one
they the
that's in
scared?
melee with you.
Oh, there's 3 swarms. Okay, yeah.
The scared ones are all the way on the other side of the dungeon against the wall, trying to get away from Xavier. You just tried and failed to toll the dead on them.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, Lindell,
That's my
you
turn.
rush in with your dagger. You skewer a couple of rats so deeply on the dagger that you almost can't get the point on any of the other rats. So you managed to kill 2 of them immediately, but now you're just kind of poking the rest of them.
Rats on rats.
There's a bit of a maniacal kind of grin on her face as she's like, "Who has the power now, rats? Huh?" Like,
Yeah, you've got a nice rat kebab on your dagger,
Yeah,
but you're
yeah.
unable to pierce any of the other ones.
Confused, like, huh? Huh?
Okay. Anything else, Lindell? That's
Nope,
your
that's it.
action. All right, you gonna stay put?
Yep.
All right, on to the rats. So the rats are going to lunge at Lindell with their gnashing, biting teeth. And that is a 14 to hit.
That misses.
Yeah, you're not phased. You just whoosh your cloak across and they just like fall off the cloak. No problem. The other swarm is unable to move closer, so they are going to scurry through the gate back up the stairs or down the little 20-foot corridor around the corner and start heading up the stairs to get away. So one of them has kind of left the combat range, but you can always chase after it if you'd like. Next up is Xavier.
So most of them have run off at this point?
There's one swarm on Lindell, and Lindell's kind of fighting him off. One swarm is completely dead, and the ones that you feared have run away.
Well, how do I do this? So they're literally on Lindell, or like kind of surrounding?
Literally on top of Lindell as she's like swooping her cloak back and forth to kind of get him to bounce off.
Okay. I'm gonna produce my thorn whip again, and I'm gonna start like whipping them off of her.
Okay, yeah. So roll to attack with your thorn whip.
Thorn whip. I got an 18 to hit.
18 hits. Go ahead and roll damage. As you whip your thorny branches towards the rat swarm, and you manage to wrap around a few of them.
5 points piercing.
When you tug back on the vine whip, it just slices them all in half. And let's see, so 5 points of piercing damage to that one. There are still a few rats left, but you've managed to kill off a couple others.
Good job.
Okay.
Alright.
That's all I've got.
That's it for Xavier. On to you. She's going to try and toll the dead on those again. Wisdom save. That is a fail. Nice. Okay, so she gets to roll 1d12 necrotic. There's a d12. There's a
She
D12.
gets
Tasty
2
rats.
D12 now.
9 points of damage. There is a single rat left now, as the rest just keel over from whatever you did.
David?
Yeah.
She gets 2 D12 now.
Oh, Sonada.
Ugh.
That's an
Bulldog's
11
gonna-
on the second one. That's enough to do it. All of them are now dead.
Yay!
And the others have run away. So very good, guys. No more rats. So we'll go out of initiative order. You guys are now left back in this dungeon torture chamber with the ladder leading upward. What would you like to do?
Was
Unfortunately,
there anything?
No,
Sorry.
under that pile of rags that you mage handed, Xavier, it looks like there's just debris. Rat's nest. It was just a pile of rats hiding underneath some
Okay.
debris.
But
the cage is still locked, so you'd have to try and unlock it to get inside if you wanted to keep searching.
I can unlock it.
Okay.
Linda will go up and give herself guidance, and she'll take a crack at the lock.
All right, go ahead. Roll a check with your thieves' tools.
And just so you guys know, I'll have to stop here pretty soon.
Okay.
Me too. Probably got another 10 minutes and then I'll need to sleep.
24.
24, no problem. You unlock the gate and enter in. When you guys enter in, you don't see that there's anything of value in that pile. But with Genevieve's earlier roll on investigation, I'm going to go ahead and honor that for this. You do notice that the skeleton that is shackled to the wall, it looks like there is some kind of a deformity to it, like pock marks in the bones.
Yeah.
Like disease?
Almost like somebody's made Swiss cheese out of these bones.
Hmm.
Someone or something.
Something sucking the insides out of them? What is it? This is bizarre.
Roll a medicine check if you'd like to.
Is it a hole right there, or like right at the back?
No, it's more like small holes all over the bones.
Can I roll an Arcana check to see if there's any spells I know that might do something like this?
Sure, yeah, go ahead. Genevieve, how did you do on medicine?
12.
12. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. You can see that there are different sized holes in the bones everywhere, and some of them are almost microscopic, really small, and some are larger. But it looks like something happened to this person.
I got 17.
17. You don't know of any spells that can do this, but from your alchemy knowledge, maybe there's a poison or something?
Okay. Maybe poison, or maybe some acid, or...
I wonder if it had something to do with those bees.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. And there's nobody here. It could be the bees.
Well, that's for this strange. Bees being able to sting all the way down to your bone. But
The one I captured didn't look big enough to do something like that, did it? The one I held in my hand? I mean, was it bigger than normal?
No, not really.
Okay.
I mean, maybe... Yeah, your knowledge of bees wouldn't really be good enough to know. I guess you could roll a nature check?
I do have nature.
Let me give you guidance as you think about that.
Okay. What is
Sure,
it?
you're trying to put 2 and 2 together. Go ahead and roll a nature check. With the D4.
So my check was a 19 with a +7, so I got a 26.
It
Plus-
is bigger. It was definitely bigger than a normal bee.
Okay.
But they did say it was some other variety of bee.
Oh, it might be possible the bees did this.
I mean, you had said that Mildred too had some a Naga had taken her shape, is there a process for how they do it? Do they have to dissolve whoever it was? Absorb?
I knew everything there was to know about Nagas. Do I know what they usually do with their victim that they take over?
Yeah, they just bleed them dry, pretty much, psychically. They use their life force.
So it wouldn't do something like this.
Nope. No, you don't think so.
This is weird. This is unusual. It's a puzzle.
Should we go up the stairs then, or should we try to dispel whatever's on the hatch?
Well, I don't think the hatch is going to go boom. The worst that's going to happen is it's going to set off an alarm. The best, it may just be magically locked or sealed. But we could try it. That way we don't waste any spells that we don't have to.
Yeah, we can also just try the stairs first and see what's up there, and then decide to check the hatch after.
True. Okay.
There is still the one locked cellar, the one with the rack, the torture device you could get in, and then this one you just picked. But the one in the middle is still locked.
But there's nothing in there, right?
Just a skeleton shackled to the wall.
There were some tools in that one with dried blood.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're
weird, like torture tools.
Do you need these?
I can't think of any use for them. Xavier, do you want these tools?
He may take some of them that look like they might be good for harvesting, or just having spare cutting tools for whatever.
Sure. Not fingernails.
I'll tell you what. Go ahead and roll. Roll an investigation check to see how many of them you can recover from the hay and dust and rat nest covered floor.
Did you want some of these? They look like something besides your bedside table too.
I do them all with magic. I don't need the tools.
What am I rolling again?
I just need the shovel to dig them up from the graveyard. Investigation.
Okay. And then I've got to go. Looks like we've got a problem with Ronan.
Uh-oh.
No.
Well, looks like he has been a close contact with another child who has been confirmed to have COVID-19. So he's been quarantined, which is bad because we don't know what we're going to do.
Right.
Yeah.
I rolled crap. My investigation was a 4. So,
other than the ones that
because of COVID.
I would say, other than the ones that Genevieve recovered, you don't find anything else. You can go ahead and add. Let's do this as a custom item. It's going to be half of a torturer's tool set.
Half of a torturer's tool set. Okay.
Yeah, so not a complete set.
That's fine.
But fun item to pick up. All right. So do you want to try the middle, or are you going to go up the ladder? And then we'll end.
Does anyone want to look at the skeleton in this middle one?
I mean, it might have those marks. It could be worth knowing at least.
Okay, I'll pick the lock.
All right. Go ahead and roll a lockpick check with your thieves' tools. Yep, unlocks almost immediately. You put the lockpick in, and the lock just falls apart. It's like, why did I even try?
Well, here's the other one. Does it have... Right. Can anyone tell if it's got bones, burrs, holes, whatnot?
Yeah, you walk in and looking at the skeleton, it does not have these pock marks. But I would let you guys do an investigation check on it if you would like to see if it's somehow different from the other skeleton, or if there's anything else in this chamber.
Hey, Jen, would you like to investigate this?
Sure.
I'll give you guidance while you investigate it.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. The bones are not real. These aren't real bones. They're made out of some other material.
This isn't
carved out of like stone or wood. They're made to look like bones, but these are not bones.
Can I pull on them a little and see what happens? Like try shaking them around, rattling the bones?
Yeah. You pull on them, they just kind of collapse down into the floor, and when they hit the ground, That's not what bones sound like. It sounds like wood.
Why would someone decorate with bones that aren't bones?
With that investigation check, I'll also say that you find a loose stone that's out of place in the wall behind the skeleton.
No, guys! I'm gonna
What
point
is it?
at it.
What?
You pushing or pulling? Oh,
It's a rock.
pointing. Sorry.
I think it's a great place to start from next time.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so there's a hidden stone behind the fake skeleton. Congratulations. We'll go ahead and end there. Awesome. Thank you guys.
All right.
That's fun. And on your delving into the Hoppsmiller Castle, into the depths below. Good job, guys, on finding the secret
There we go.
entrance.
All right. All right.
We'll pick up there next time.
Good night,
Thank you.
everyone.
Good luck, kids.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Sorry. I hope Ronan's okay.
Yeah,
I'm
I hope he's okay too.
it
Take
is. I mean, it's like, what do we do now? Like, I just started this job. You know, do I call them up and tell them, hey, I can't come to work for 14 days? You know, do they want me to not come for 14 days?
Do you just
Yeah,
need
they'll-
like 2 negative swabs or something like that? Or
Well, it says your child has been identified as a probable close contact, meaning he's been identified as having been within 6 feet of someone who has tested positive. He is